So I was prompted to do this video by a customer's need to do a demo of VMware ESX3 or Virtual Infrastructure 3, demo the HA, DRS, and vMotion functionality, but the particular customer did not have a SAN. So in trying to figure out how we could demo this, we decided to use a virtual appliance called Openfiler to create an iSCSI share that we could use to create a VMFS and facilitate vMotion, HA, and DRS for demonstration purposes. So I thought I'd give everyone a little bit of a view into this great virtual appliance called Openfiler, as well as a great product which will also run on bare metal, and you can read more about it in the actual blog. So this video is just meant to give you a tiny introduction. The function, how we're going to operate this particular demo is to I have Openfiler installed already. As you can see here, this is the interface. I have a Windows 2003 server up and running in a virtual machine as well, and I have the iSCSI initiator installed in that Windows 2003 server. So what we're going to do here is Openfiler is up and running. Again, that's running as a virtual machine as well, and you can see that running here. So this is actually the Openfiler console on Windows XP workstation, and then of course I have my my Windows 2003 server, and then the web interface to the Openfiler console. I've already logged in, so first thing I'm going to do is one thing that's important to note is when I did the install of Openfiler, the virtual appliance, I did have to add a second virtual disk to use as the iSCSI target device. So I already did that in the background, and I'll talk you through that as we walk through the demo. So I'm going to administer this storage device. There's a couple things we need to do. If we were doing a more complex implementation, we may use Active Directory, LDAP integration, and those things are all supported, but I'm not going to go through every single feature in the Openfiler product. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to General, and I'm going to add the local subnet that I'm on, because we'll need this later to authenticate. And the subnet IP is 255.255.255.0, or subnet mask rather. And type we're going to leave a share, and we're just going to say update. Okay. So now I've added that local network. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to services, and I'm going to enable the iSCSI service, because by default it's turned off. So right now the iSCSI target service is disabled. I'm going to enable it. Okay, once that's complete, now I'm going to basically start configuring my iSCSI target device on the server side. So I'm going to go over to volumes, and the first thing that we need to do is we need to configure the physical storage volume. So I'm going over to physical storage management, and dev SDB is the device that I want to use as the iSCSI target. SDA is actually the root file system where Openfiler is actually installed, so you want to stay away from that guy. SDB was a additional virtual disk that I added, so I'm going to click on dev SDB to edit the disk and add a partition to it, and we'll scroll down, and you'll notice down here that I have no existing partitions. I want to create a primary partition. I want it to be a physical volume. It could be a RAID array member, but we're going to make it a physical volume. I want it to be the full 8 gigs, and we're just going to say create. Take a second, and that's actually creating a partition. So now you can see I have one partition, dev SDB1, it's a Linux physical volume, etc., etc. The next thing is I need to create a volume group on that physical partition. So we're going to go over to volume group. I'm going to name the volume group VG01, and I want it to be on dev SDB1, and I'm going to say add volume group. So again, I'll take a second. And then the last step in the process is to create a new volume. So we're going to say create a new volume. And the new volume we're going to create is lvol1. And we want this to be the entire 8 gigs. and we want it to be iSCSI. We're going to use it as a block device. If we were using it as a CIFS or an NFS device, FTP device, rsync, it would be one of these other file systems. We could use Extend3, XFS, JFS, or Riser. But we're going to use iSCSI, and we're going to say create. Okay, so we've now created that volume. One last step left here. I'm going to say edit the volume properties. And when we scroll down here, you'll notice there's a couple options for authentication. First option is I could use CHAP authentication. I'm not going to because it was just a simple test. I'm just going to allow everything on the 192.168.1.0 subnet. So we're just going to say update. After that, we're pretty much done. We can go back to list existing volumes, and you'll see that we have this one volume we just created. It's an iSCSI device, so we won't be able to get file system detail like we would if it was a CIFS or an NFS device where we could actually track utilization and things like that. But it's iSCSI. At this point, we now can flip over to our Windows 2003 server, and we'll open up the Microsoft iSCSI initiator, and we'll go over to Discovery, and we're going to add that. Add the server name, so it's 192.168.1.138. That's the IP address of the server that Openfiler is running on, or the IP address of Openfiler itself, actually. And we'll say OK. And then we're just going to go over to targets, and you'll see that it's already picked up the target. We'll just hit refresh just to make sure everything looks good. It's already picked it up. It's inactive. We're going to say log on, and we'll be presented with a dialog box here that asks us, do we want to automatically restore the connection when system boots? Typically the answer is going to be yes. If we want to use MPIO, if I had multiple, if I had installed it when I installed the initiator, which I did not because I only have one NIC in this machine, but if I had two NICs and I wanted to use multipathing, I can do that as well. And we'll say OK. So now we're connected. Now we should be able to exit out of the iSCSI initiator, go to my computer and say manage, and go to disk management, and it's now discovered the new device, disk 1. We're going to leave it as a basic disk, and we're going to say finish. Now disk 1 is, you can see here, it's 7.97 gigabytes, the 8 gig volume that we are attached to. We can right click on this and say new partition. We're going to make it a primary, 8 gig. We're going to assign it drive letter E. We're going to perform a quick format, and we'll say finish. And at this point now, it's formatting the drive. And should we come back in a second and say healthy, and we should be able to create data on this particular drive. So it says healthy. You can see drive E is created. It's 8 gig. If we come over here to my computer, drive E, and we'll just create a new text file, you can see that we can actually go in here, and we have a fully functioning iSCSI block level device. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty much that simple to set up an iSCSI device using the Openfiler Virtual Appliance. From here, you could now use ESX3 and use the Openfiler volume as a way to test HA and DRS, do whatever else you need to do on the iSCSI side. That's it. Thank you.